Hi, it's the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your November 2016 mid-month readings. I am still using the Gilded Tarot, drawing 8 cards, even though we're only looking at the last couple of weeks rather than the month in its entirety. Still the same 8 cards with an additional ninth card from the bottom of the deck, representing your overall energy and advice over the reading. Make sure to check your rising and your moon sign as well because it's a general reading. There's a lot of you watching, so it won't mean the same things to everyone who's watching. And by watching all three of your signs, you may find that you get different pieces of what's going on in your life with different signs. So watching all three gives you a more clear and cohesive picture of the time frame ahead that the reading covers. A special note of gratitude always before we start to those of you who follow and continue to follow so loyally and faithfully. Your support and encouragement means so very much to me. Thank you so very much. And keep the comments coming. I know I always say that, but I do enjoy reading them so very much. So thank you for taking the time to write your feedback, especially as the readings play out predictively in your lives. Describing that, I find it really fascinating. Welcome to any newcomers, and thank you for watching and subscribing should you choose to do so. And thank you for those of you who continue to reach out for personal one-on-one readings. As I say, it is a pleasure and an honor and an absolute delight to read for you. And I'm grateful for the trust that you place in me to interpret and intuit the cards for you. And thank you to my regular clients as well for allowing me to be such a continual part of the chapters of your life as they unfold. And thank you for the frequent updates that you send me on how the readings continue to play out in your lives. And if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, you can click on that little About button on my YouTube channel's homepage, which will give you a little more information in detail. And my email address, you can email me directly at Maggie, the number one, McGuire at gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you and anyone that you send my way. We are headed into the holidays, and I'm already receiving a lot of requests for gift readings for loved ones and family and friends. Personal readings are a pretty cool and uniquely personal gift to give people, particularly for the holidays and birthdays and whatnot. So if you're interested in that, just send me an email or one of your own. Just send me an email and we'll go from there. I do readings full time, 6 days a week, so I'm able to get back with you quite quickly and schedule a reading. Typically, within turnaround time is anywhere within a couple of days to a couple of weeks, but almost always within 2 weeks, with the average being about, 3 to 4 days to a week. Usually, you can get a reading scheduled. So, moving right along, this reading is for Taurus for November 2016, mid month. What does the remainder of November 2016 have in store for the Earth sign of Taurus? Taurus the bull, my lovely, grounded, stable, sometimes stubborn Tauruses. Show me the energies of the Earth sign of Taurus for the remainder of November 2016. Taurus. Taurus the bull for November 2016, mid-month. November 2016, mid-month. Okay. We begin with the Seven of Wands, followed by the Two of Swords, the Nine of Wands, followed by the Magician, the Nine of Pentacles, followed by Judgment, and the Two of Pentacles, followed by the Page of Wands. And from the bottom of the deck, you have the Sun as your crowning card, Taurus. I can't think of a better sign, a better card to have than the Sun, perhaps the Wheel of Fortune, the upright. The Sun is a major arcana card. We'll start with that. The Sun is a major arcana card. Fingers of the divine. They do represent those external divine energies, God, spirit, universe, your angels and guides, coming in to lead, guide, timing and orchestration, or to give us profound and important messages and advice as well. The presence of the Sun card represents an uplifting and enlightening of energies, restrictive energies, loosening up, kind of a darkness into light, winter into spring kind of feeling. And when the sun shines over your reading, it increases and magnifies the effects of any positive energy and greatly lessens the impact of any challenging or negative energies in the reading as well. So, what a beautiful card to have shining over you over the next couple of weeks, Taurus. So, let me just take a quick look here. I feel like, especially, and it's kind of similar to a lot of the signs that I've read so far for mid-months Taurus. It looks like it's the next couple of weeks is spent not so much in a lot of action or making decisions and acting on them, but it's more of a reflective energy, some stuff coming in, trying to figure out how to deal with stuff, trying to make certain decisions, trying to be careful and thoughtful, which you're very good at doing, being that grounded earth sign about how you proceed through something. It looks like at the end of the month, you're still kind of going back and forth between trying to make a decision about something or how to present or carry through something. I feel like actual decision making and action taking is probably going to occur more towards the beginning of December. Of course, unless you choose to just spontaneously jump in there and do stuff, which isn't inherent to your sign, but we do live in a free will zone after all. So let's begin, Taurus. We find ourselves around the middle of November 2016, and I am recording this right on the 14th. And if any of you have seen the moon tonight, it is absolutely magnificent, that beautiful full super moon. It looks almost close enough to reach out and touch. So we have the energies of the Seven of Wands paired with the Two of Swords. So the Seven of Wands. Wands is that suit governed by fire. Let me see if I can cut the glare down again. Usually when I record at night, I have to use artificial lightning, and sometimes there's a bit of a shine. So the Seven of Wands. Wands is governed by fire. It's a dynamic suit. Action oriented, change, movement, power, action, building, manifesting, creating. Seven the Seven of Wands is a card that has a lot of defensive energy to it. It can also represent defending, protecting, standing by something, guarding something, standing up for something or someone that you feel you have a lot invested in, whether it's time, money, resources, love, yourself, history, etc. This man is defending the door to his home, his castle, his keep, or whatever it is specifically for you, Taurus, because it's going to play out differently for a lot of you. There's a lot of you watching. It can also represent defensiveness, being very defensive about something. And I'm actually getting it split two different ways. For some of you, I feel like it's trying to make a decision on how to hold on to something. For some of you, it's trying to make a decision on whether on whether or not to hold on to something that you've invested a lot of time, perhaps love, attention, money, etc. Is this worth holding on to? Is this worth continuing to fight for? And how do I do that? For some of you, you're holding on to something that perhaps is not serving you well anymore. There's a sense of defensiveness, and you may want to examine letting it go, even though there may be a reluctance in doing that. Now, that Seven of Wands, and I'm kind of feeling that for a lot of you because that Seven of Wands is paired with the Two of Swords. Now, here we have the Suit of Swords, which is air energy. This is more cerebral, cerebral, mental, intellectual. I think I tried to blend all three of those words together. Cerebral, mental, intellectual energy. It's about what goes on up here, words, ideas, communications. It's about our thought process, our belief systems, how we think about things, how we kind of shuffle things around in our head. Twos are a number of duality, crossroads, decision making, needing to make a choice. This is a card of needing to make a choice, but being stuck, being at a crossroads and kind of being stuck. There is often a sense of having your head stuck in the sand on this one. This woman is blindfolded, representing that she doesn't know which way to go. She doesn't know what path to choose. And there's a certain reluctance in doing it. If she took the blindfold off, I think the path would be fairly clear, and the decision that she needs to make would be very clear. There's a sense of reluctance in being able to look at something head on, having something in front of you that needs to be dealt with, but kind of willingly remaining blind to it because you're afraid that if you look at it directly, the choice that you need to make is going to be clear and you'll have to act. And there's a fear that perhaps the path you feel you might need to take is a painful or challenging one, or you don't want to do it for some reason. Now, for some of you, the story's going to split off. For some of you, there is this energy of being kind of deliberately blind, having something in front of you that needs to be dealt with, but there's a reluctance in dealing with it. You're feeling very defensive about it. And it could be letting go of something, or something that you've spent a lot of time or energy or whatever of yourself into, needing to let it go. This could be anything from a job to a relationship to a way of looking at something, a belief system. Uh, We have a few wands, a few pentacles in here, one swords. Again, for some of you, it may be a project you've invested a lot into, a job or career path of some kind. For some of you, this may be a relationship or a person. There's a sense of perhaps feeling like you may, or being pressured that you may need to make a decision to stand down from something, but not wanting to do that, or not wanting to look at the reality or clarity of a situation because you're afraid that you'll see that the decision to make is letting go, and there's simply you don't want to. Um, for some of you, it may be in being at a crossroads and needing to make a decision. Some of you may be defending or standing by something, and you need to make a decision on how to, I'm actually not going to go with that because my feeling is that you need to deal with something that you're defensive about something, you're guarding something, protecting something. And there's a sense of either needing to let go of it or needing to take a more realistic and clear look at it so that you can make a decision about it, whether to hold on to it, whether to let go of it, or perhaps that you've been too defensive about it. You need to go about it a different way. Now, next to that, we have the Nine of Wands and the Magician. Now, for some of you, I'm just kidding too, that even if it's not about holding on or absolutely letting go of something, it may be a way of doing something, a way of approaching something, a way of presenting yourself, a way of communication, or just a way of dealing with conflicts or problems that you need to let go of and examine, maybe perhaps doing something in a different way, shifting your mindset or your perspective. So the Nine of Wands represents sort of like a final challenge or one last hurdle or jump that you have to get through, because it's a nine. Tens represent completion, the end of a cycle. You're not quite there. You're at a nine, which represents kind of like one last, I don't want to say test, but one last problem or challenge or obstacle or delay, which is what this card represents. This man, there's this cluster of eight wands behind this man. He's holding onto the ninth one, almost as if it's the only thing holding him up. This cluster of wands represents something he's run into rather unexpectedly, perhaps a delay, an obstacle, a block, a challenge of some kind, and he wasn't expecting it. He's withdrawn a little bit, not a full blown retreat. He's just withdrawn for a little bit, and he's kind of sunk down and he's trying to figure it out. This is a card of re strategizing before you go back in, because the whole underlying energy is to go back in. This man is a soldier. He's at a nine already. He's already fought a lot of battles, come through a lot of challenges, and he's done it successfully. He may be tired, worn out, wounded even, but he's still going, and he's almost at the end. There's one last thing he has to get through, and he's trying to figure out how to do it. And it may require a different perspective. Again, taking the blindfold off, that Two of Swords energy. It's about taking a look at it, a very clear look at it, perhaps getting a perspective on it, figuring out how to deal with that, and moving on through. I think for a lot of you, it may not be letting go of something entirely, but letting go of a way that you're used to dealing with something, perhaps dealing with unexpected issues coming up. Now, the Nine of Wands is paired with the Magician, which is a major arcana card, and this is your message from the universe here. You have everything that you need to make it through this, Taurus. Whatever this is, you have it in hand. The magician is about the magician. He's a magician. He's the master of illusion. He has the ability to create anything he wants to because of the road he's walked. He's walked a long road. He's had a lot of experience. He's learned a lot through trial and error, success, triumph, failure, and defeat. And he's reached a point now where he has all the knowledge, the tools, the skills, the wisdom, the know how to build, manifest, create whatever he wants to. This is about successfully creating what you want in your external environment by the by using your experience, by your will, your sheer determination and will on the external world to create what you want because you know how to do it. You know how to get through whatever this last hurdle, this challenge is. And if it's a fear of doing it in a different way, or if it's a fear of actually looking at it head on because you're afraid of what you may have to do, don't be afraid of that. And the Magician card is a very strong message from Spirit saying that you have what it takes to make it through this. Take the blindfold off, face whatever it is you have to face. You have what it takes to make it through this, Taurus, whatever it is. Relationship. Again, I'm not getting a lot of very clear specifics, but I think it's either career and job oriented projects or it's a relationship for some of you. For some of you, it has to deal with a sense of independent self sufficiency and self empowerment. And that could be in the job career field, that Pentacles energy, or it could be in relationships too. We have the Nine of Pentacles, which is sometimes called the successful single person card because she appears to be on her own, successful, independent. She's built up her own very prosperous foundation for herself, which nobody can take away from her because nobody gave it to her in the first place. Everything that she's enjoying are the fruits of her own labors, the beautiful dress she's wearing, how well she's able to take care of herself. She's surrounded by things which represent success, prosperity, physical or material comfort. She's earned it all herself. And if she's single, then it's fine. She loves herself. She loves her life. She loves where she's at. If she's with somebody, that's fine. Same thing. Loves herself, loves where she's at, loves her life. But sometimes it's referred to as the successful, happy single person. For some of you, again, this issue could be around a relationship. Do I let it go? I've invested a lot of time into it. Maybe it's now's the time to either make a decision to carry it further or break it off. Do I continue with this certain lifestyle, or do I make a decision to you know, to bring somebody else into my life and have my life be centered around a we energy instead. For some of you, this could be an issue you've run into with a job and career somehow. And the decision is whether to stay with a current job or on a current career path or divert into something else. Which may have a significant impact on your ability to be on your ability to have this level of success, abundance, and prosperity and stability. Uh, because it's the Nine of Pentacles, it's not the 10, but you're almost there. It's a card where it's a lot of success in independence and self-sufficiency. For some, it represents going your own way. Some of you may be considering leaving a conventional job or a job environment where you're working for somebody else and you're considering going on your own. Perhaps there's been a little snag or a delay or something that's come in, and you're kind of wondering if you should stay with the tried and true and that security that you have, or if you should indeed push forward and branch off on your own. And the advice is to be thoughtful and be careful about how you proceed because that Nine of Pentacles is paired with Judgment card. And there is a strong sense of finality with the Judgment card. Be careful about how you proceed through something. It's going to kind of lay the concrete for something. You're not going to be able to reverse it once you set it into motion. It's going to have a significant impact both on the short term and the long term future. It's not a card that says yes, do it or no, don't do it. It says consider carefully before you set anything into motion because you're not going to be able to stop what you set in motion. Look at the pros and cons, think it out through before you do anything. Don't be rash, spontaneous, or impulsive about whatever this is. Now, at or towards the end of November 2016, we have the Two of Pentacles paired with the Page of Wands. So the Two of Pentacles is a card. Again, we have that Pentacles energy, Earth energy, which is often about things in our earthly material, tangible or environment. It's often like money, finances, resources, property, etc. See, touch, feel things. This man is successfully juggling these two big, beautiful pentacles. For some of you too, I just got this could be a work-life balance issue. This could be trying to balance between, perhaps you're a workaholic, or perhaps you've been expending a lot of energy at work to perhaps to the exclusion or detriment of personal relationships, because sometimes the energy of this card could represent that as well. This man is successfully involved in keeping these two pentacles in the air. He's focusing all of his energy in this arena of his life, and he's doing it successfully, but in the background there's some quite beautiful things going on that he's missing. One, because his back is turned to him, he's not noticing, and two, because all of his energy is focused on these pentacles, on this area of his life. You can see behind him is this rainbow, beautiful rainbow, which is one of those good luck symbols, pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. There's a ship coming in. What's on this ship? It could be wonderful things. That's saying your ship coming in. There's a dolphin leaping in the harbor here, and dolphins have long been the harbinger of, good luck, good news, good messages coming in. But he's not noticing any of these things. And he may miss them. They could represent opportunities that he's missing, or things that are already in his life that he may be letting slide or not paying enough attention to, because he's so focused on keeping these two pentacles in the air, which he is doing successfully. So for some of you, this could be work-life balance. Perhaps a partner or family or somebody has been like, you're spending too much time at work. Again, the story is going to branch off a few different ways, but the underlying energy is the same. Now, the Two of Pentacles is paired with the Page of Wands. Pages often represent messages or messengers. They can represent young people or children as well. Um, but they're often messages, and this would be a message. This is the Page of Wands. Wands is that suit that's governed by fire. So the message that this page would be bringing would be a fiery, dynamic message. It would be exciting, enthusiastic. It could be about creating, building, manifesting something. Um, Let me just take another look at this. For some of you, I'm getting that this message, and it may be delivered in a very spontaneous, emotional, or impulsive kind of way. Pages represent the youngest and least mature energies of the tarot, and sometimes the messages that they deliver, the method in which they deliver the message, is related to the energy of their suit. Because this is the Page of the Wands, this is a message which may be delivered, particularly if it's somebody saying, hey, you're spending too much time at work, you're not paying enough attention to me or to home or to family. It could be delivered in a way that comes across as very passionate and high emotion, and you're just kind of sitting there trying to juggle and trying to maintain this balance between work and life, and kind of having difficulty in between that. For some of you, this could be a message coming in at or towards the end of November 2016 that causes you to kind of, that results in this juggling energy going back and forth between one decision and another. Again, it feels like overall, regardless of what this specifically refers to, and I really love hearing the feedback on what this is for you guys. There's a sense of needing to address something. Something's in front of you which needs to be dealt with. It feels like there's a certain amount of reluctance to deal with that, a certain amount of defensiveness around it that you may want to re-examine, particularly if it's about work-life balance and trying to figure out how to maintain a healthy balance in your life, both for you and in your relationships as well. It feels like you've run into perhaps maybe a bit of a snag, an obstacle, a delay of some kind, or perhaps it's just this work-life balance issue which has come up. But again, that message of the Magician says that you have it under control. You have the ability to deal with this, to actually build and create and manifest the kind of life that you want, including the balance within that life as well. There is a caution with the Judgment card of being careful in how you walk through the rest of this couple of weeks. I get the very strong impression that the next couple of weeks, there shouldn't be any rash or spontaneous or impulsive decisions made, uh, because whatever you decide and however you proceed, it's going to have significant consequences and outcome, both on the short term and the long term, for the good or for negative as well. You do have that sun shining on you overall, though, which is illumination too. And in terms of feeling like maybe you need more information or more time to figure this out and walk through this, the sun is a card of illumination as well. And it does ensure that whatever you need to help you make this decision, whether it's further information or more more intuitive guidance from spirit, which you definitely can ask for, it almost ensures that what you need, the information and communication that you need, is going to be coming in to help you, to help lighten the path, to help show you the way through this. And you may again be getting that message and more information towards the end of the month, Taurus. So it looks like the next couple of weeks are more contemplative. Don't get too caught up in that crossroads energy, getting stuck or getting too negative or withdrawn about it. It's about balance and consideration, which as an earth sign, those inherent qualities ought to serve you well. It looks like you'll have more of an idea and more clarity at or towards the end of the month, but that any major decisions probably ought to be put off until at least the end of the month or the beginning of December. So Taurus, I hope you've enjoyed this reading. I hope it's brought you I hope you at least find it useful. It hasn't confused you too much, that you've gotten a little bit of wisdom and insight from it. If any of you are interested, again, in a personal reading for you or any of your friends as a gift, please feel free to contact me directly by emailing me at Maggie, the number one, McGuire at gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you. And I will also see you guys again in a couple of weeks for the December 2016 general readings. And until then, Taurus, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. And I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.